Thanks for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And in the description is a link to my Patreon account. Any donation that you can offer is greatly appreciated. Thank you. So move the flesh from your sit bones, sit tall, and just rest your hands comfortably on your lap, palms facing down. Just to go inward, tailbone lengthens towards the earth. And as the tailbone lengthens, feel a little bit of a stretch there for the lower back. Heart then extends forward through the shoulders, a little bit of reduction of that thoracic curve. Chin in, back of the neck long, crown of the head lifted. And ideally, when we sit up straight like this, it should feel like a relief for the spine, easing pressure off of the nerves, and helps to optimize the function of all the important organs of the body. And then as you settle into that extended posture while relaxing the musculature, begin to watch for a few moments just the rise and fall of the abdomen. And allow your mind to settle into the rhythm of the breath, quieting the thoughts, and as we subsume the mind in the rhythm, becoming the breath itself, as if the whole body is breathing. And as you feel a steady rhythm developing, breathe into the belly and then up into the ribs, feeling the rib cage widen out to the side. As you exhale, the navel contracts back towards the spine and the rib cage draws closer together. So a little bit of this two-part breath, again, still absorbing the mind and the experience. And of course, as you're breathing into these different areas of the body, you can really feel as if the breath that carries the prana is sending all that important energy to the organs, particularly as the belly expands into the digestive area and then up into the rib cage as we reach into the higher digestive organs as well as into the lower portion of the lungs. I think of it often like a bath, bathing the body in this prana, rejuvenating each and every cell. And once that rhythm is established, we'll grow it all the way up into the heart. So belly expands on inhalation, rib cage widens, and breath moves all the way up into the chest, front and back of the heart. As you exhale, contract the abdomen again, rib cage draws closer together, and the chest softens. So full, complete diaphragmatic breaths. And so for so many of us, as we walk around through our day, there's a great disconnect between the mind and the body. And so much of our requirements these days are intellectual, that we often lose that relationship or awareness. And so as we come to yoga and we bring our attention down into the body, the first time maybe for the day, for the week, It's such a relief for the mind to have its attention diverted to something other than just our excessive thinking. And so if you haven't added in an ujjayi sound, the ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath, add that in now and just notice how the ujjayi itself is calming. It has that sound of an ocean wave. And here too, the mind can just become absorbed in the rhythm, in the sound, in the experience felt inside the body. And so we're going to be working with this throughout our practice today, this idea of perhaps dissolving the self into the experience of the present moment, right here, right now. And the feeling of relief that we get from that. So in the yogic system, we understand that we are an individualized soul, a jiva atman, that has come in body to experience this plane, this earthly plane. And so in that identification and that separation, we have our own goals and wishes and thoughts and desires and drives. But there is a time when we return back to the Parama Atman, which would be the supreme soul, that merging back with the source itself. And if we can bring moments of that in either throughout our day or through our meditation practice or yoga practice, then there's a little relief there for all the effort it takes to be individualized and to move about on this plane. And so the yogi knows to take refuge and rest here throughout the life cycle, and that at the end of the life cycle, it becomes much easier then to completely absorb into that source. So we're going to be working a little bit today with the pause at the end of exhalation. So if we think about our breath, inhalation often represents life, the taking in, first thing a baby does when it's born, and we want to see it take in a big breath of air. And the last thing we do as we leave this plane is that exhale breath out. So that is the release. But that pause at the end of exhalation before inhalation begins is a moment of no breath. It's just a complete dissolving and awareness. And so we're going to find that that breath, if we are able to surrender into it, or that pause becomes longer and longer and more peaceful. Of course, there is that tendency to resist against the pause after exhalation. And so if that comes up for you too, that's something to explore. Feel effortless. Pay particular attention to the exhalation and a feeling of letting go. And then if it calls to you at the bottom of the exhalation, start to bring in a soft pause. You're welcome to stay in that pause as long as the body's not giving you any indication that it requires a breath. And during that pause, just dissolve the mind, the identities, all the hats you wear. Dissolve all of that into that space of nothingness, pure rest, pure awareness. Keep surrendering into the rest. Last one. Really let go. And then just lower your chin to your chest. Take that restful feeling with you as you bring your hands to your heart. And just go back to the intention we set and trust that you received what you could receive, letting the rest go. And just remember that this practice of yoga was given as a gift to humanity. It was given as tools, but it's up to us to utilize those tools and to stay discerning so that we can recognize when we need to utilize some tools over others. So if in your life you need this deep surrender, this deep rest, know that your practice can take you there. Namaste.